farming freaks? This is Ransom with his first ever farm sim video of the Michigan map. Well, any map at all. So we're going to start today's first episode out here grabbing the Massey Ferguson harvester to cut us up some corn and start making that Skrilla. As I kick this door open here, I just want to give a huge shout out to my main man, the big man himself, the Raging Cajun of Raging Gaming. And without his help and his butt kicking, I would have never got this video out. And the shout outs also go to the movie guy himself, as well as AK, the mother effing savage. If it wasn't for them two either, this wouldn't be happening. So we're going to get this bad boy out of the shed here and get over to our field. So as we head over there, I just kind of want to explain my whole concept with the farm sim video. It's going to be a little different than we're all used to seeing. I think I like editing, so I might add more editing and chopping things up in these videos. So if that's something you guys dig after watching this, please shoot some comments down there. If you don't like it, please let me know. I can use the criticism as well, as long as it's good criticism, something I can use to improve on my videos, so you guys will have some content that you dig. So as I was recording this video here, I was trying to think of something to talk about, because I mean the video is going to be close to 10 minutes or so, and I need something to talk about while this video is going on. So I guess I'll jump on my soapbox here and kind of talk about the farm sim community and the roller coaster seems to have been on in the last couple months. And I just got to say the most respect towards AK and Raging for their apology videos. I think that was a big step into bringing the community back together. It seems that it may have started to separate here in the past few months, and people going off and doing their own things. And with those apologies, I think it kind of brings things together more, even if they aren't hanging out with these other YouTubers. The apology is still there, and it's showing that it's water under the bridge, and maybe in the future there could be some collabs going on. And then within our little community ourselves, like within a TeamSpeak server, it had been kind of rocky, and I think we've gotten through that as well, and things are looking up for the better. And I think the biggest thing with the gaming community is you got a lot of different personalities, and people are trying to get along, and especially in ours, when you have such a diverse age group. I mean, we got guys that are hanging out that are 13 years old, and then guys all the way up to close to 40. So it's hard to get those different maturity levels to jive, and I think we're doing a pretty good job of maintaining a good, strong group. And I'm really excited to see what the future brings. I've been hanging out with the Raging crew for dang near a year now. I think I started hanging out right after Farm Sim 1.7 came out. So it's been almost a year, and it's been a fun year too. I've met some really cool people. Missed some guys who have gone off to do other things, but movie guy, AK, Raging, the Flying Hawaiian, and even Tyler, all from the beginning, having a good old time doing those huge silage hauls. I'm looking forward to doing some more of that. That's definitely something I want to see happen, in the future, getting back to some of that old school farming like we had done in the past on the Deddy. But that means we got to find a Deddy that actually works. When they keep crashing, it's hard to have a good time. So it's cool to see some of these new maps come out too. This Michigan map's pretty wicked. I'm digging it. It isn't too big and it isn't too small, so if you wanted to run some of the older school equipment, you can do that and still have a good time doing it. And if you want to bring out the big dogs, you can also bring out the big dogs and get stuff done. And I like how it represents the American farm a little bit better than some of the other maps have tried to represent and recreate. And this and the Who Dat whatever map, I can't even remember the dang name. That's another really good map that I think is making a good recreation of American farming. on this one, I think they could have done a little bit better job on like the roads. Um, the roads are still kind of narrow, and they seem on all the maps to be really narrow. And that's definitely a European kind of thing. But in America, we tend to have some pretty wide roads, even on two-lane country roads. They're still tending to be pretty wide. So any modder out there building a map, wider roads, that really throws some kudos towards the authenticity of your map if you're mapping an American map. So being that this is the first farm sim video, a lot of time I'm hanging out in the chat or the TeamSpeak when some of the other crews live streaming. I get asked the question all the time of what I do for a living, and it's pretty complicated because there's a lot of things I do. But maybe I can break it down and make it a little more in-depth on the things I do. So I started working for a little company named City Bark and Recycling in my hometown in Vancouver, Washington. And I started out as a truck driver. My uncle had been driving truck for them for 10 years, and he brought me on board and loved it from the get-go. Just driving truck in general is really fun, but this kind of work was really cool because we were playing in the dirt. We're going down roads that trucks shouldn't be going down, backcountry roads. The equipment we use is really cool too. We have belt trailers. They're essentially you take a van trailer and you cut the top off and you fill it with something like bark dust, and then the bottom is a conveyor belt, and you open up the back door and it just kind of pumps it all out, and it makes unloading really quick, something like 5 minutes to unload a truck. So I did that for about a year and started learning how to operate equipment, and worked around the yard a little bit more, running loader and excavator. And after I did that for a couple months, the need for another mechanic came about. And, I'm not certified. I didn't go to school, but I can definitely turn a wrench. And so they brought me on as kind of a helper, doing some of the oddball stuff. I am a metal fabricator, which was one of the first things I did out of high school. So I did a lot of the metal fab repair work on the trailers and things of that nature. And our lead mechanic took off and went off to bigger, better things, so that kind of moved me into his position. And let me tell you, that learning curve was really steep, but I had an outside pretty much dedicated mechanic certified in the things that needed to be certified to do the work, as well as a couple other outside shops, so it wasn't too bad taking care of that program myself. And I kept climbing up the ladder. I got the position as the operations manager and the dispatcher, and that's kind of where I'm at now, which is, it's cool because it lets me drive trucks. I can do computer stuff if I want. I've built our websites and learned a lot about DOT regulations, and then I can run the equipment. Right now I'm really the only one that low boys our equipment around to do oddball jobs, which is cool because I love running equipment and I love low boying. So essentially, I tell my wife this all the time. I get paid to play in a sandbox, and I'm going to take out this mailbox right here. Boom, there it goes. And so I get paid to play in a sandbox. That's what we did as kids, was play in sandboxes. So I can't ask for anything better. And I get to scratch all my itches with this company, whether it's building the websites, doing photography work, or just getting out and getting dirty and running a shovel. So the bigger picture of the company I work for is they're a heavy contractor for the railroads. So it's gotten me out on some pretty cool railroad jobs, and I get to stay overnight in places and get to travel a little bit without being an over-road truck driver, which I totally dig that as well. So that's kind of what I do for a living, and I don't see any changes in the near future. So I grabbed me a big old, 8-wheeler here, and we're going to throw down some wheat so we can start making some hay. So I'm going to drop this bad boy and kick it on down the road here. I So all these mods I have are essentially AK's mod pack of 9 freaking gigs, and let me tell you, it takes a long time for my game to boot up. But some of the mods that he has are pretty cool. I mean, you've got everything from old school to new school, and I enjoy playing it. So what I've done lately is I've got such a vast amount of mods from everybody else's um, save games and multiplayer games. So I've got a folder on my desktop, and it just says Farm Sim mods. And inside that folder, I've got subfolders that will be like Raging Gaming, um, Movie Guy Gaming, AK Gaming, or Private Gaming. So I can take mods out of the mod folder in game and insert other mods. That way I don't have so many mods in the game to plug it all up, and it seems to be working out pretty well. So that way, if I need to download 5 or 6 mods from someone else's gig, I don't have to dig through and find them all. I just remove all the ones I had and then put in all their mods, and then I only have to install a couple of other ones. So if any of you have that issue, that's what I do, and it has worked out really good. The only downside to that is that you'll have multiples of the same mods, so you're going to take up a lot more disk space by doing it that way, but it's by far the easiest way to track all your mods. So yeah, you can take that pineapple and eat it. So we're gonna keep cutting this corn here and go deliver some more corn and make some more Skrilla. Skrilla, if you guys seen Trailer Park Boys, you know what I'm talking about, AK. So we'll go get this delivered, and I wanted to try this little fast mode here, so y'all let me know what you think about this. Adobe Premiere Elements 13 on this, and I'm finding it pretty easy to use. I haven't used it before, and it's almost as easy as, oh, holy cow, check this out, O.J. Simpson at the Auto Parts Napa store. Wow, I wonder what he's doing out here in Michigan. You better watch out, AK and Tyler. Anyways, as I was saying, Adobe Elements 13 is it's almost like using Windows Movie Maker, but it's got a lot more options you can use, like the narrating you can record through the software itself, and the music automatically learns the length of the song or the clip, the video clip, so it'll end the song at the end of the video clip for you, so you don't have to stretch your video out to try to match it with the music. The music will actually match it to the video clip, so it's really easy to use. So if you guys are out there shopping for a video editing software, I really recommend it. Another cool thing about Adobe is they're doing subscription-based software now. So if you don't have the $300-400 to throw at a Photoshop software, you can have it for $9 a month is what I pay for my Photoshop. You know, it might be hard to digest if you're not somebody that does photography all the time, but somebody like me who does, it's really cost-effective way of editing your videos and your photos. So well, I'm going to end the video here, guys. I appreciate you coming along for the short ride. Hopefully as my videos progress, so will the quality of them. So thanks for bearing with me. You guys have a good night. Please hit that subscribe button if you like this, and you guys have a good night, and we'll see you on the flip side.